episode. So this is the last one in the series of videos that I was trying to catch up on, almost 6 weeks worth of videos. So thank you for sticking with me. So this is my current week. I am currently 15 weeks pregnant, heading into 16 weeks pregnant. So baby is as big as a navel orange at this point, which is very exciting. That's a pretty big baby at this point. The first thing it says on this app is feeling sexy. No. My husband and I were talking about this, and when I was pregnant with Oliver, I was quite randy the whole time I was pregnant. And this time I have zilch for sex drive. And that's okay. We're still managing to connect. We're still being intimate. Not as intimate as probably either of us would normally like. But I'm just so tired and just not feeling randy. And it has nothing to do with my body at all. I feel quite confident about my body right now, and I'm very happy with how well I've been keeping up my fitness. I've been managing to do a little bit of yoga almost every day. I've been managing to do a little bit of pole dancing. I've been keeping very active with my son, chasing him around and taking him outside for lots of walks and playing in our backyard and stuff like that. So I think I'm doing really well. I've also been eating fairly clean this pregnancy, which I'm very, very impressed by. This time, when I was pregnant with Oliver, I was eating every possible piece of crap you could imagine. I was having cheeseburgers. I was having, breakfast sandwiches from McDonald's and from Tim Hortons. I was drinking ice caps every day. I was just a mess. French fries, ice cream, just like anything terrible for me, that's what I was eating. And this pregnancy, my body's actually not letting me do that at all. Anytime I've tried to eat junk, it has just been a digestive disaster, from puking to just terrible guts all night. It just has not been going well. A really sad thing that I wish I could eat more of, but it's been making me puke every time I eat it, is potatoes. I love potatoes, and I made latke, which is a traditional Jewish dish, and I couldn't eat it. Like I ate a few pieces and then I was up puking. So that's an unusual thing that's been happening the last couple of weeks for me. Even though a lot of literature says, hey, in your second trimester, you'll feel better. You won't have as much morning sickness. I've been having night sickness where I will be asleep and I will wake up and have to puke in the garbage can next to my bed. And this has happened to me quite a few times. I've also been up with yucky guts, like I haven't been able to sleep because I've been so nauseous. So that's unusual, and I don't really remember that from being pregnant with Oliver. So I'm still not having the best time in terms of morning sickness. So if you're in your second trimester and you're with me on that, like, I feel you, girl. We can get through this. And as I've said in previous videos, just like follow what you can eat and just try and eat it. I am doing a challenge today. I'm trying to drink 8 glasses of water. As you might have, you might remember from other times I've talked about this, I've been really struggling with keeping water down. It has really made me vomit pretty much every single time I've had it. So this is a really big challenge, and I'm very happy. Other than my morning puke, I've been able to keep my water down today. So that's very exciting for me. I do hear my son waking up, so I'm going to make this video pretty brief. But so baby right now is 2.5 ounces and 4 inches. That's getting pretty big. That's really exciting. Only like 15 more inches to go. So this would make me in my 4th month of pregnancy. Again, I highly recommend counting by weeks and counting behind or a little bit, just giving yourself a little wiggle room. Like right now, I'm almost 16 weeks pregnant, but just go with 15, man. Just say you're 15 weeks until you're 16, almost 17, just like give yourself a little bit of thing. Yeah. So the increased sex drive, again, it mentions this. I don't have it. If you do, awesome. Have as much sex as you possibly can. It's great for your vaginal health. It's great for your relationship. It's wonderful. Like, work those Kegels, girl. Nosebleeds. I tend to get nosebleeds while pregnant. I got them quite a bit with Oliver. I think I've had one or two this pregnancy too. Heartburn, gas, and or indigestion. Yep. Had those for a while now. These aren't new symptoms for me. Swollen gums. I think I talked about this a little bit last pregnancy. But yeah, they're coming back again. They were really well managed by the fact that I was able to go to the dentist at about week 10. But yeah, they're back again. Shortness of breath. I have not had this. I've been feeling really good. Okay. I should put a caveat on that. I've been feeling really good in terms of physically. I feel like my body's really limber. I feel, like my endurance is really good. I've been able to stay active this pregnancy in a much greater capacity than when I was pregnant with Oliver. So yeah, I haven't been experiencing shortness of breath. If you are, I'm sorry, that sucks. I did get a lot of shortness of breath when I was pregnant with Oliver, which really blew. So this also says your 15 weeks pregnant belly is making a big transition. During the first trimester, your uterus still fit nicely inside your pelvis, but now it's stretching out to accommodate your growing baby and will soon outgrow your pelvis and sit higher up in your belly. So I have had some comments, first of all, that I look really young. Thank you to my sister. And I've also had some comments, I look really good. And really good to me translates into you look skinny. And I know that's a personal bias, and that's probably not what everyone means. Or you don't look pregnant, meaning you look skinny. I don't necessarily mean that as a negative thing. I just mean that that's what I assume when people say that. So I have had those nice compliments. I am going to give you a quick belly shot of what I look like right now. So I did want to just mention one kind of weird thing. So after I got my blood work done, the clinic called me and said, "Hey, what's your ethnicity?" And I was like, that is so weird. I have never been asked what my ethnicity is from getting blood work done at any time in my life, whatever the reason I've had blood work done. So I was like, Caucasian, Eastern European descent. Yeah. I then asked my midwife why they would have asked that, and she said that usually has to do with genetic screening. Now, I never asked for genetic screening, and quite frankly, I wouldn't have wanted it. So I'm curious to see my blood results when I go for my next appointment, which I'm not going to, it's a phone appointment because we're still in the COVID-19 pandemic right now. So they're alternating between having in-person meetings and having phone meetings. And I want to also mention that my midwife was not the one that requisitioned the blood work. That was actually my family doctor. So it's interesting that was just their go-to, was to ask for the genetic screening. And as you may recall from previous videos, they took a crap load of blood, way more blood than I've ever had taken in my whole life. And I just remember feeling like, whew, I'm so glad I ate a sandwich before that, because I swear it was at least 10 vials. So I find that all very interesting. A little bit kind of not consensual, because the only blood work that I ever want done is just the bare minimum. But hey, if that's their protocol and that's what they do, that's what they do. So I just find that interesting. And as I mentioned, I'm going to be intrigued, or I am intrigued to learn what, if anything, they found out, because that's not something that I would have normally asked for. And I'm really surprised that they would just do that without asking. So hopefully they didn't. I hope that if just for whatever reason they were asking, because maybe that's a new protocol as they ask, and they actually didn't requisition genetic testing, because I just don't care. I'm going to love my baby no matter how it turns out. And my husband and I, we already have one kid that was fine. So, I mean, that doesn't mean anything, right? Something weird genetic could come up later, but I don't think that there would ever be a reason why I would ever terminate a pregnancy because of a genetic screening thing. But I guess it could give you a heads up if there was going to be significant risk during birth that was hey, this baby might have a significant medical issue and might need an incubator right away or something. I don't know. So anyway, I guess thoughts, and as I was talking through it, I kind of changed my own mind on it, but yeah, still don't really care. Gonna be interested to know. And that's my 15-week pregnancy update. So you won't hear from me again on this platform until next week when I'm 16 weeks, and I'll give you an update on 16 weeks pregnant. But I am going to do just one kind of longer podcast for you guys talking about what you can expect from your first midwifery appointment. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I hope you found this video encouraging and entertaining, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye.